Proponent of offshore oil drilling. The projected benefits of drilling new oil wells in certain areas in the outer continental shelf are not worth the risk of environmental disaster. The oil already being extracted from these areas currently provides only 4% of our country's daily oil requirement, and the new wells would only add one half of 1%.
Okay, so tell me, what is the opponent of offshore oil drilling's conclusion?
They're not worth the risk of, like
Yeah, and
for
why
environmental.
did he think that the benefits of drilling new oil wells in certain areas in the outer continental shelf are not worth the risk of environmental disaster? What's his reasoning for that, in your own words?
Because they're already being it would only add 1%, so it's not much that it will add to the daily requirement.
Yeah. So the oil already being from these areas, it's only 4% of our country's daily oil requirement, and the new wells would only add one half of 1%, so 0.05 or 0.5%.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so go ahead and read the next part.
The proponent of offshore oil drilling. Don't be ridiculous. You might just as well argue that new farms should not be allowed, since no new farm could supply the total food needs of our country for more than a few minutes.
All right, what's his conclusion?
It's basically saying like that no new farm can supply. Well,
Don't be
like
ridiculous.
that. Yeah,
You might
that
just
half of one, it's good.
yeah, you might as well argue that then no new farm should be allowed, because if you allow because no farm could apply everybody's needs,
Yeah.
right? So that's a good analogy. But we're trying to weaken the drilling proponent's reply. So why might this be a bad analogy, or why might this be a bad response?
Because we want to go with the opponent, right? We want to strengthen the opponent, the opponent kind of.
Well, we want to weaken this response and show why this response is a bad analogy, or why
Yeah.
because it's not relevant. Why
Mm-hmm.
might you what's different about comparing a farm and his reasoning about the farm to the oil wells?
Okay, so let's see which one of the following is true as against the drilling proponent. Is run by new offshore drilling. Governing new oil drilling has been much more thoroughly articulated than has governing new farms. No, not the year. No.
Yeah, the fact that legislation has nothing to do with it.
Yeah. Unlike oil, common agricultural products fulfill nutrition needs rather than the field crop. C
is true, but is nutritional needs more important than fuel requirements?
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Many of the largest oil deposits are located on their land that is suitable for farming. No. New farms do not involve a risk analogous to that run by new offshore. A.
Why is it A?
Because the opponent is saying the environmental disaster, so new farms do not involve a risk.
Right, it's not the same. Yeah, where it's like you get the same amount from it, but consider what's the risk of starting a new farm. Where we start these oil wells, there's like a negative side to it, but we're not talking about here. We're not talking about any of the negative side potentially of starting a farm.
Yeah, okay. You see, for that one, I picked C, so like that, but because you said nutritional needs are not more, okay.